Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys your divine masculine twin flame and separation reading. And so you guys will notice that I am not bringing to the collective this week the four elements. So I usually would do earth, air, fire, and water signs, but I'm not going to do that every single week. And today will be the first time that I just do a general reading. Okay. But I will bring those, of course, back in. It's just that I don't always have time to do those. And this would be one of those times this week. So anyways, this is something that you guys can just, you either resonate with the messages that come through or you don't. Don't try to force anything. I'm going to be offering, obviously, the majority of this reading here on my Mystic Moon channel. And if you guys want some additional messages, I will put the option to take a look at those extra things. It's a great way to support my channel if you guys are interested in doing that as well. So anyways, you guys, we're just going to jump right in here today. All the decks I'll be using here, I will go ahead and tell you what they are, and I'll list everything down below. And today's beautiful organites are the Divine Masculine and Feminine Nudes created by Michelle from Wing & Bell. So let's jump right into it. We're going to take a look and we're going to see what is the Divine Masculine at this time going through just in general, okay? What are the energies that he is currently going through? So this is my Divine Feminine Healing deck. You're probably thinking like, why would I be using this deck? I feel called to use decks in certain ways. And this week I just felt called to use this for the Divine Masculine's energy. So let's look at this. What is the energy here in general for this Divine Masculine? Let's take a look at his mental space right now. What is this energy here? Ooh, we have imprint. This is very, very significant. So it says, my soul has chosen you for this important lesson for healing and ascension purposes. I thank you for our time together. So what I want to say, feminines, that even though we haven't gotten into the specific message yet about how this masculine is feeling towards you, it's already coming through. You have had such an impression on this masculine's healing and ascension journey. And he is very thankful for your time together, even if he hasn't said it, even if he has not, shown you that. This is how he is seeing, seeing things at this time. But it's specifically this feminine's energy here. Because when I created that card, that's what it was. It was about the connection. So let's now go into what is this deck called? The Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle. Let's see what else is going on for this masculine in his headspace this week, just in general. We have once was innocent. So what I'm picking up on, you guys, is that this masculine, like all of us, was not innocent in the past, maybe did some things. But guess what? When you screw up and you make certain decisions, you learn from those mistakes. That is a part of the maturing process. And so I just feel that, because you guys are in separation right now, because of your separation, this masculine has actually learned something here. So it's not just about the feminine. I just feel like he has changed a lot of aspects about himself and his life in general. Okay, so this is called the, what is this? What is this deck? Tarot of the Hidden Realms. Sorry, I can't get all the decks straight sometimes. Tarot of the Hidden Realms. What is the message here for the masculine's mental energy? Okay, so this immediately wanted to pop out. We have the Ace of Pentacles. I love this. Look at that. So this tells me here that this masculine is wanting to grow in new ways in the world. He's offering new seeds, just in general in his life, maybe to, his working connections or just even connections with other people. There's something of value, though, when the Ace of Pentacles is near. So this knowledge that he has experienced, or this wisdom that he's experienced from your connection, is actually helping him to grow and to move forward, I feel, in more productive ways, just with his life in general. So that's really cool, that you've had that effect. So I feel like that is what the first message is trying to tell you, is that you are a part of this masculine's ascension process and a part of what he's got going on right now. You've made an impression on him, feminine, and we're not even in that energy yet. So let's continue. Let's see what else we need to know. What's going on in this masculine's emotions right now? His heart energy. Let's look at this. Oh my gosh. His heart is open, feminine. We have I forgive you. So he could be working on forgiving anything. That could be forgiving himself if you guys have had some sort of a, falling out. This could be not asking for forgiveness, but forgiving people from his own past, maybe childhood, etc. But I just feel like this is a masculine who's really working on learning and forgiving himself and realizing that, you know what? It's not absolving oneself because, I was young back then, which is why I did what I did. But I mean, the whole young and dumb thing, yeah, sometimes that is what it is. Maybe you didn't mean to hurt people, but you did because you lacked the maturity or the tools to be able to do it any differently. But now that you know better, right? Usually adults know better. Then that means that they're going to change and they're not going to do those things or to make those same mistakes later on. And so I feel like this right here is, a nice beginning here for this masculine to be able to move forward in his life in a different way, act with more integrity, etc. So he's forgiving himself, but I feel like he's also forgiving people that have hurt him as well. And it might even be that maybe his heart is opening, as in, will you forgive me, feminine, if there has been a falling out here? I'm getting that as well. We have shimmer, glamour, confidence, allure, and charisma. That's fantastic. So the shimmer card to me is about like somebody, like a shining star, somebody who is maybe in the limelight, somebody who is really feeling good right now in their heart space. They love what they do. Maybe they have come into their purpose and their mission, so they're feeling really, really good. So let's see what else. Ooh, 2 of Pentacles. So it's kind of cool because we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is the seed, and then we put it in the ground and we are watching it now sprout. 2 of Pentacles. So it's kind of like we're waiting for something. We're waiting for something to take shape. We're waiting for something to grow. So I feel like that's what this card is telling us here, is that right now the masculine's heart space and his feelings are surrounded on these changes, these positive changes that he has made. And now he's kind of waiting to see some sort of a new development in his life. He's waiting for some kind of a different experience to come through. And I think that that's a good thing. So he's made some sort of shift and change in his mind and also in his heart. So that's pretty cool. So let's take a look at his environment. What is the masculine's environment right now? Okay, so we do have wounded, and it does say, I will not allow toxic people from my past to ruin me for future encounters. I take back my power now. So this does lead me to believe that this masculine is working on some sort of wounds here. Okay, and it has to do with the people that are in his life or that were in his life, taking back his power from these people from the past. So if these people from the past caused him to then turn around and hurt people, I feel like he's doing some sort of inner reflection and work. That's really nice. The littlest fairy is basically appreciating the small things. So these are small steps. This is also about, being really grateful, being in a state of gratitude for just the littlest things, such as it's not little, but our health, or just the fact that we have running water. Those are the littlest things that we take for granted. And I feel like this masculine right now in his environment is really taking a look at all the little things and being grateful for all those little things. So taking some sort of major personal inventory, also shifting his mindset to focus on positives rather than focus on negatives. Yeah. So I feel like there's a real positive shift going on here for this masculine. Could be like a certain philosophy that he's adopting. It could be a certain religion maybe that he is practicing, certain spirituality, etc. And we have the 10 of Wands, because the 10 of Wands, of course, is a card. It's a little child here. That speaks to me. The littlest fairy, the little child, inner child. I feel like there's some kind of inner child wounds that this masculine has been actually carrying around for quite some time. And he's now realizing how much it's affected his life. He's realizing now how much it's affected just the way that he has operated this entire time. So he's taken personal inventory and accountability right now. And he wants to let these burdens of the past go. He wants to let these wounds go. He doesn't want to give this any more power, because what this has done is it has created a lot of I can't think of the word I want to use. Just a lot of burden. That's what it is. A lot of burden for him. It's been a burden on his life for a long time is what I'm seeing here, which is why the 10 of Wands is here. The 10 of Wands means we've suffered long enough. It's time to let this go. This is just weighing us down at this point. And I feel like he's very aware how much this has weighed him down, and he's just not interested in it anymore. He wants to focus on the good things now instead of all this bad shit. So if you feminines have dealt with this masculine in the past and he was operating out of his wounds, like trauma response towards you and everything that you guys were trying to build, this is why. So he has had to go deep within himself and do this inner work before he can be good for anyone. And I feel like he has come to some sort of conclusion here. So that's a real positive to me. All right, let's take a look at his overall energy here. What is his overall energy at this time? We have headspace. So right now it could be that he is trying to change his headspace. So I'm going to read this to you. It says, I have the ability to change my mood by the thoughts that I am choosing to think. I focus on things that bring me joy, not the things that rob me of my peace. So that just basically was depicted here. I'm going to focus on the positives rather than these negatives. I'm going to take back my power from my past. I'm not going to put my power into the past any longer. I'm going to drop this burden, this inner child. I'm going to learn how to reparent myself, forgive others, but also forgive myself for the wounds that I may have created in my past, which once was innocent, but knowledge means change. I do feel for some of these masculines that there was something that happened to them when they were innocent children. And whatever they experienced obviously was not their fault. But, what we choose to do with those wounds, we do have to take responsibility for. So people that are hurt usually hurt others. People that are wounded, especially people that have not dealt with those wounds, end up wounding others. So, but knowledge of these things means that we can change. There's a lot of people that never want to become aware of it. They never want to look at it. They just keep going from shuffling from one situation to the next. And I feel like maybe this masculine has maybe done this in the past, but he's done doing this because he's not innocent anymore. Meaning you can ignorance is bliss, but you can't be ignorant forever. Once you understand, once you see it, once you know, you can't unsee. It's kind of like The Matrix, the movie. You can't go back. You can't unsee it. So that means that you've got to make some changes. You've got to take some sort of matters into your own hands and start to apply these tools and start to do the work here. And it's hard and it's a burden and it's difficult and it's no fun and no one really wants to do it. But you realize time after time, especially after immense amounts of failures and pains, that you're tired of the burden of all this energy and you want to clear this up. So yes, this masculine right now is working on his head and his heart space, and he's working on, his wounds and his core issues from childhood, etc., and really wants to make these changes. And I feel like he's in the midst of a major transformation. So that's really interesting here. That's what we're getting. So I believe that, did I get all the cards? Maybe I didn't. I don't think I got beyond this. So let me go ahead and get the oracle card here. There's something about being a little child. A little child. But the thing is, this masculine is not a little boy anymore. I feel like maybe he has been operating from his child wounds or just childlike self for a long time. And that may have worked for him for a while, but something has happened here. Something has become a burden. And feminine, what I'm getting here is that if you were a part of that mess, meaning if you were a part of being the one that got hurt here in this process, this masculine is now reflecting on this connection with you, like you're in his headspace, and he thinks about how you came into his life at a time when he was really wounded. And you were an important part of his lessons for healing. Maybe you even triggered something within him that said, I need to change. And maybe he wasn't ready at the time. But I feel like he's reflecting now on your connection. That's why you're showing up in his mental space. Very, very cool. So yeah, this right here is a return to the soul. Aspects of ourselves that we've given away to others. We're retrieving. It's a soul retrieval that this masculine is currently going through right now, you guys. He could literally be working with a therapist. He could be literally doing past life regression or some sort of spiritual practice or meditation or something where he is retrieving back this part of his soul that was lost for a long time. We have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, you guys, to me is a foundational card. So it's like, in order for us to be strong in the world, we're going to have to work on that foundation. And even if that means that we've got to tear it up and work from the ground up like a tower moment, then that's what we're going to do. And that's just what I feel like is happening here. Four of Wands can also be an 1111 card for some people. So I'm going to introduce that meaning as well. 1111 is a spiritual awakening. 1111 means that we are on the correct path to move forward and to ascend to the next level. So this is some sort of a spiritual transformation and awakening that's happening for this masculine, is what I'm getting here. So that is what we have so far. Pretty intense stuff, huh? So now we're going to go into the core energy of your separation. What is the core energy here of your separation with this masculine? This is my Cosmic Contracts, Ties That Bind Oracle. Okay, we have Extractor. I will pull uncomfortable things out of you. Yeah. So feminine. This is the deal. If you, at the time when you were with your masculine, that might have been a part of your soul contract, was to pull uncomfortable things out of each other. So if there was some kind of way that you were acting, some kind of way you were triggered, you may not be very proud of yourself with the way that you acted. You may even cringe when you think back on how you may have said something or handled something, or maybe even didn't speak up. That can be another thing where we think back and we really are regretful of all the things we shoulda, coulda, woulda said, right? But there's something about the heart space where it's like forgiving yourself and also being able to forgive another person. We can't truly forgive someone else until we forgive ourselves. So I just feel that you were the perfect person for your masculine, and he was the perfect person for you to pull these uncomfortable things out of each other, these things that needed to come out. And that's just a part of your contract. Your part of your contract is for you guys to do this for one another. Yeah. Okay, so this is a mixture of two decks here called the Heal Yourself Reading cards. And I think it's just Heal Yourself Reading cards in another deck. It's very similar. I'll put everything down below. We have recognized divine timing. I feel like what's going on here at the core of this particular separation is that at the time you guys were, it's like the job and the task at hand was to pull these uncomfortable things out. But if you were not willing to look at them or ready to heal them, we have to recognize that we just were not on that time frame to be able to do that work, to be able to heal this and to fix this. The two of you may have had to go into separation in order to heal these things on your own. So there's something about the timing here that just wasn't right. Maybe someone was not able to see themselves. Maybe somebody couldn't admit something. Maybe there was too much trauma in the way. So that might be what the problem was here at the core. This is called the Psychic Oracle Tarot. We do have passion ignited though, so I feel like what this is trying to tell us, you guys, with the Ace of Wands, is that you and the masculine came together, and this flame, this energy, this twin flame dynamic is what drew the two of you to become attracted and to literally ignite this flame to pull out this, like extract this energy. Because if the energy wasn't this intense, you wouldn't have been able to extract this out from one another. So you're meant to meet at the time that you did. But what I'm seeing for a lot of you is that you were not meant to continue on in this connection with your masculine. The timing is just huge here. It wasn't the right time for this. So we do have to pay attention to that. So that's at the core of the separation, is that the timing was correct and right to meet, but it was not meant to move past this point. it was meant to put you into your triggered state. So that way you guys could then work on your core wounds and issues, which I don't feel were about each other. It was other things. Okay. Wow. So we've got these 3 cards that came out. So I just feel like we need to take them. So I'm going to put this deck aside. I will make you want to give up. Sabotage. So there could be this feeling here where somebody feels like this other person is it's like sabotaging their mental health. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even be around you, or I can't even have you in my life because I feel like I just need to be alone, or I need to think on my own. You're pressuring me. Or it could be the way that you are. It's just not good for me. It's like there's some kind of energy here. I'm also getting inner voice. Somebody did not speak their truth, and that's why I got this major regret energy. You have to forgive yourself for not having the tools to speak your truth. Shoulda, woulda, couldas. You can drown in that energy forever. It's not going to help. But I feel like this is also, you wanted someone to speak. So I feel like this feminine wanted this masculine to really speak to her and tell her his truth, and he couldn't do it. He absolutely couldn't do it. And then we have parasite, which means I will suck the life out of you. So there's this fear here that someone is going to take something from me. You're going to take something from me that I'm not ready to give to you. You're sabotaging me. You're sucking the life out of me. You're making me do things that I don't want to do. That's someone's energy here. I don't know if that's yours, feminine, or if it's the masculine. But I feel like there's this major intensity that takes place in this connection, and it's supposed to ignite all of these really intense feelings here, good and bad. But it gets things rolling. It gets the two of you cracking on your healing. Okay? Yeah. This really propels people to take off their masks. Are you ready to look at it? Are you ready to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly? Are you ready? And I'm getting here. Somebody was not ready. Both of you may have not been ready, but certainly someone was not ready here. And if you're not ready, you know what you're going to do? You're going to see somebody as a parasite. You're going to see somebody as a person that's trying to, take something from you, or they're a pain or a thorn in your side. You need to run away from them. You need to block them. You need to get rid of them. I feel like there is some kind of someone triggering somebody to the point where they're just like, I can't deal with this. So they almost discard you, run away from you, can't deal with it, are repelled. And the reason that they're repelled is because you are triggering them to take off this mask and look at themselves. And if they don't have the tools or are unable to, they're going to perhaps project all of their crap onto you and make you out to be the problem in their life. So do you see how that works? Major intense energy here. Big time. And we have the Chariot's energy, which to me is about, it's moving forward, moving on forward, running away. So you guys did not experience triumph in this connection. There was a defeat here. Somebody ran away from it. Somebody thought that maybe they would have more triumph if they ran away from you, separated themselves from you. So that's just what I'm getting here for this core energy, is that someone is too afraid to look at themselves at the time. But see, what's happening right now is someone is taking a very deep look at themselves. They're doing the work now, but they couldn't do it at the time with you. So someone ran away, somebody discarded, somebody, projected, somebody freaked out here, and they just were like, I can't deal with this. But now in retrospect and reflecting on you, reflecting back on the connection, they can actually see that you were a very important person in their life, but they were not ready to deal with this. But they can look at it and appreciate it now that you guys are in separation. That's very cool. So that's what we have, you guys. Oh my gosh. So let's actually go ahead and get one more round, okay? I want to get one more round of what the triggering was all about, okay? What was this triggering all about here in this connection? Oh, wow. We have karmic person. I will bring out your worst traits. So some of you guys, it could be that, there was like a karmic situation, a karmic partner in the mix. That could be for some of you guys. It's not going to be for everybody. And what this did is it literally brought out your worst fears. The teddy bear to me is childhood trauma. This brought out just the absolute worst characteristics. It brought out all of those traumas and just dysfunction, and even maybe just like things that you were saying, things that they were saying, just like, oh God, I can't believe that I let it get to this point kind of energy. So there's that. So I'm actually going to get 2 cards here. I'm going to get this one and I'm going to get this one. Okay. So this is kind of interesting. Self-love. When we have a lack of self-worth and self-love, right? And we're looking for other people to complete us, it's going to bring out the worst in just the whole situation. It's going to be disastrous. Anytime that you're expecting someone else to save you, complete you, somebody to love you, like, I will love myself if this person accepts and loves me. And when that does not happen, then we tend to maybe chase this person. We tend to want this person more because they're trying to abandon us. It activates all of those wounds, wherever this comes from. And I just feel like this wasn't just one-sided. This is both people here. You guys brought out, in a way, the worst in each other. So they really activated your core wounds and you activated theirs, you guys. And what it does, though, essentially, is it pushes you to love the self. So that's what's happening right now with your person. And that might be what's happening on your journey as well. We just went into the masculine, which is, the person you're watching the video for. And the agreement, it says stop breaking agreements. You guys came together with this contract and agreed to trigger each other in this way to ultimately love yourselves. So that obviously was not possible when you guys first triggered each other. You didn't think to yourself, oh, I'm going to start loving myself when I'm getting triggered by this person. This must mean that I need to love myself more. No, we're freaking out. Why doesn't this person love me? Why is this person running away from me? It activates our worst traits, which is being codependent and being frantic and being obsessive. That's what it does. Doesn't push us into self-love. Maybe years of separation and different things that you'll go through on your own will push you to self-love. But it's only when there's that time and distance and space. So sometimes separation, you guys, is absolutely crucial in these contracts. People don't want to deal with that. People don't want to accept that. People don't want to be okay with that. They want to focus on the separation. As in, it's such a bad thing. Actually, it's probably the best damn thing that could ever happen here. So stop breaking agreements, meaning it's time to love the self. It's time to stop focusing on the worst things that kind of bring the worst traits that are brought out through this person or this connection. I have a lot of people that watch these readings that are pretty much, in this state with this person that, they hate them. I hear it in the comments all the time, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I understand, you got to get to a point where maybe you feel like you're strong enough to maybe cut the ties and just kind of do your own healing. But we're really setting ourselves up for disaster if we're just kind of hating on this person, because a part of it is we've got to forgive. Like when we love ourselves and forgive ourselves, we naturally are able to forgive and love other people too. And it doesn't mean it's okay with what people do or did, or that we need to let them back into our lives, especially if, they're still not well. But it just means that we're no longer willing to swallow that poison anymore because we know it's not good for anyone, most of all ourselves. So the agreement here is to love the self, to forgive the self, to look at the self. Your person, I feel, is actually doing that right now. Are you doing it, Divine Feminine? Maybe you guys are. Maybe some of you guys, that will be a question that's triggering, which is, oh my gosh, am I not doing this right now? So as long as we're not in this energy here, we're still breaking this agreement. So let's get into more of that agreement mode with this contract and why we even connected with this person to begin with. Let's do the core work. Let's do the child healing. Let's do the work that we need to do. Let's stop breaking this contract and creating more of this chaos and uncomfortability that might be present for some of you guys. And some of you may even be at a point where you've already gotten past this. And that might be that it's not your reading this week, and that's totally okay. Because I feel like Spirit does use readers to tap into different timelines for people, and not everybody is on the same timeline or same wavelength. And that's sometimes okay, because I think that sometimes these readings can help lift people up into the timeline that some others are in, which would be more healing and more joyous and more peaceful for, the viewers. So anyways, this is what I have for you guys so far. So if this is resonating with you, as in this is your contract, this is what you've gone through with this person, this is what frickin' was triggered within you, we're going to go into more here. So we're going to take a look and see, where's your person? Where were they with you in the past? Like, how do they view your connection in the past versus how they view it now in the present? Okay. Something that was also triggered specifically, because even though we got some stuff here, we're going to go into what specifically did you trigger within them on their side, and what does that mean for them today? Also, lyrics with their deepest feelings for you. And if they could communicate with you right now, what exactly would they say? What they assume you feel towards them, as well as some forward momentum. So we got a lot of things actually going on in the extended. So if you guys are interested in, jumping over there, I will put that link down below. And if not, hopefully this was helpful for you guys this week. And, we'll just kind of take it from here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I hope to see you guys over there on the extended. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.